look what I've got here in front of me. This is, I hope anyway, the new M10 stabilizer from Freefly Systems, also known as the Movi M10. There's been a lot of hype around this thing. We've been getting phone calls about it nonstop, and well, it's here. The first one has finally showed up. So we're gonna do a quick unboxing video of it so we can see exactly what it comes with and quickly set it up, and then later on we'll have additional videos that have full setup and calibration guides. So look out for those later. But in the meantime, let's dig in. Accessories, looks like some torque screws, zip ties, wing nuts, bolts, like a lanyard of some sort. This must be the main unit. Gyros here, motor, receiver, stuff's right there on the side. It actually does come pretty built up. I'm actually impressed, it's fairly lightweight. Definitely looks like it's carbon fiber everywhere. So this looks like just something you would control a remote control plane with or something. Anyway, that's cool. We're going to try to hook up a camera to it really quick, and we'll pick up this video in a second. Okay, well, welcome back, and it's about an hour later from when we first unboxed the Movi. As you can see, we've got it more or less set up and calibrated. It did take a little bit of a doing. We had to download the manuals because they weren't included, and print those out and give everything a look over. So I want to share with you some of my initial thoughts and impressions on the Movi. You can see here it comes with this really nice stand, this balancing stand. Snaps together pretty easily. We did figure out how to install the top handle unit here. You just loosen the 4 little Allen keys up at the top and slide it in and lock it down. We put a 5D on here just to get it simulated, and it did take a while to get it balanced correct. But before we talk about balancing, I want to show you a couple other things on the rig that I noticed. Overall, the build quality seems pretty good. Carbon fiber is fairly resilient and is lightweight, which is really nice. In the back of the Movi, we have all of the motors and the receivers and things like that make it do its magic. And there's a lot of like exposed cables, and they seem to be fairly well tucked away. But I do worry about the long-term durability of this in the field. It's definitely something that we're going to be telling our clients to be really careful with. The battery attaches here at the top. There's this little battery mounting port here, and there's a little carbon fiber clutch mounted on like a stretchy strap they use to lock it in place. And there's the actual battery that runs the unit. When you put it in, you slide it in here, pull the elastic clutch around that holds it in. Then there's two cable leads coming off the battery. You only use the red one for powering it, and if I can find the connector, there it is, that just snaps in like so. The manual does warn you that you should never connect it when the switch is turned on. This is the power switch down here on the bottom. This needs to be off when you're connecting or disconnecting power. The battery charger is interesting. I haven't seen one like this before. Here's the charger. You want to have the switch selected to LiPo, which stands for lithium polymer, which is the type of batteries these used. And then according to the manual, we want to have it set at 3 amps. So these chargers are obviously made for a variety of different types of batteries. So when you're using it with the batteries for the Movi, you need to have it at those 2 settings. So then you go ahead and plug it in, and then you have another little device that goes into the front. These are two little leads that go into the front of the charger. There's a positive and a negative, red to red and black to black. And then you connect the red battery leads directly to this here. And then there's another set of leads that go into the 4S slot on the side. So both of these have to be plugged in while it's charging for the battery to receive a charge. And does slide in fairly, there we go, upside down, like that. And once it's in, everything lights up and is like a constant red light across all 4 lights on top, and the charge status light will be constant red until the battery's charged, and then everything turns green. So let's look at the actual rig itself. We put a 5D up here just for demonstration purposes. There's 3 little locking, clasping things down here that lets you, when you take all those off, it lets you both slide the dovetail in and out like so, and also move the balance left to right like that. To get the camera onto there, you basically unlock the middle one, which lets the dovetail slide off. Like that, and then you have your dovetail in the back here, and this dovetail you can obviously put on any other camera to get your camera onto the Movi. Let's put it back, lock it up. Now you can see it's off balance. Balancing it is tricky, I'm not going to lie. It took us about 45 minutes of just fiddling with it, and I don't even think we're in perfect balance yet. I obviously just screwed it up a little bit right there. So people that are going to be using this regularly, I'm sure will get very good at it. If it's your first time or your first even half a dozen times, definitely make sure you have enough time to do a proper balance and calibration. That's extremely important. Getting it balanced properly not only makes your batteries last longer because the motors don't have to work as hard to maintain a level shot. You'll also get much better results at the end of the day. So just going off of the Movi manual, there's 3 axes that need to be balanced. The first one that we did is the horizontal balancing, basically making sure that the camera plane is perfectly horizontal. You can do that by sliding the dovetail back and forth left and right, just like I was just showing you. Second one is something called the vertical balance. That one you adjust by opening these clasps here and sliding this bar either up or down. And then there's also the roll axis. That one was a little bit tricky because when we first put it up, we thought, oh, it's not too hard. You just slide you just unlock these things here and you slide the camera left to right until it's balanced. And yeah, that does seem to be the way to do it. That's how you make most of your fine-tune adjustments. Like here, I'll try to just balance it out a little bit. Just moving it a little bit to the left. Oh, maybe too far. Oh, that looks better. So that's fairly balanced right now, but the first time we did it, no matter what we did, it was constantly very heavy on the right side. So we learned that we had to actually go ahead and loosen a mounting point here in the back behind the camera. I'm not sure if you can see too well from this angle, but there's basically 3 little screws in the back here that you have to loosen, and then this whole piece back here can shift left to right by looks like about 3 inches of travel there. So you can kind of make fine-tune adjustments there, and then you can make more fine-tuning adjustments up at the front to get it better. And once you've done that, then you can pretty much balance anything that you can fit in here. And then the final axis that needed to be balanced is, I called it the pan axis, which is up here at the top. And basically the way that they suggested balancing it is to line up the lens of the camera so that it points directly down one of the long rods of the support bar. And then you can tilt left or right. And right now it's actually looking pretty balanced. If I go a little bit far, if I tilt a little bit far, the camera wants to tilt, it looks like the lens wants to tilt down, which means I need to move the pan knuckle up here. I believe it needs to go backwards a little bit. I'm still not too clear on pan axis. It seems to be one of the harder ones to get your mind around to what you're actually doing, but it involves basically loosening these 4 screws and sliding this up here back and forth to getting it perfectly balanced. Movi was kind enough to include 2 pretty high quality like Allen key screwdrivers for easily getting into these tight places and tightening and loosening various screws, so you can really, and you're going to need to have these with you all the time so that you can really, get things dialed in how you like it. The really cool thing is the transmitter. There's pan and tilt indications on here, as well as roll, pan speed, and as well and a knob here for tilt speed. So once it's balanced and its battery's hooked up, you should be able to just turn it on and start seeing immediate results. Let me just go and clip it on there. It takes it a minute or so to fire up. I see lights coming on. There it goes. Now it looks like it's jumping to life. So now I should be able to do, with the remote control here, I can pan left and right. Motors are also dead silent, by the way, which is great. And then we also have tilt. I have tilt turned down to a really low speed, but I can also turn that up. So that tilts faster. And panning. This is the 2-operator mode. You would basically have one person either holding it up here, holding it on the handles and running around, and then the second operator would be on the remote control to actually do the motion of the shots, or the panning and the tilting of the shots. There's also another mode on the switch here on the top of the transmitter. You can change it from remote. That middle position is called majestic. And apparently when I put it majestic, it automatically goes ahead and aligns itself. And in majestic mode, I don't understand exactly how it works yet, but basically it's user operated. So the gimbals take input from the position of the handles to adjust the pan and tilt, so that one person can operate the camera and get good pan and tilt action from it as well. So 2 different modes to experiment with. We're going to have more videos for the Movi and how to use it and how to set it up hopefully soon. We have to learn how to use it a little bit better ourselves first. This is just a kind of a brief overview, first impressions, and the unboxing video. So that's the Movi, and see you on the next video. Thanks for checking us out.